Good morning. Good morning. How's everybody doing? 747 in Chicago. We just had some PPI numbers out here. Uh, Futures made a spike move up here, so we'll see if they can hold up on that move here. So SPY. All right. So she popped up to 753. That gives us up to $2 and change here. Well, so we're going to get a 212 day back up now, and we're at 753.80 right now. It did get a little carried away, got up to 754.28, but they pulled back a little bit. All right, so we had good, decent CPI numbers yesterday, and then we get some follow up today with the PPIs, a little bit better. So I think tech might be better for this. I think industrials might be a little better for this group too. All right. Healthcare is still really mixed, man. And I'll talk about the futures here. Um, I got some of the discretionaries are trying to move up a little bit here. Yeah, your staples are kind of just still sitting there a little bit. You got a couple things moving up here this morning. How about those Chiners? Chiners moving to the upside here. We got gappers up on Baba and on Billy, so we have been in that one as well over here on the Discord. Boeing is starting to move back upside a little bit too. All right, so I'm going to go through here. All right, this is where we got to 754.29. She's trying to go back up to the highs right now. Again, you're going to get a 212 up. What were we talking about, right? We were talking about the month, and it's been green inside. Okay, and there's your week. All right, so inside there, going to be just a tad higher here. All right, on this guy from 750, he's about $3 and change now. All right, so I guess the biggest move is the 212 back up on the SPY. We'll keep an eye on that. QQQ. QQQ, we still need to trigger 729 to turn into to make the monthly go into 729.19 to turn this green again. So we're still a ways off on Qs. And there's your day. There's your 2 day coming in on a Wednesday here, and we're pretty decently inside on the week now on triple Qs. Okay. And that's going to take a 2 day upper here. So that's another one. That's going to be a 222 up. You're not taking the 3 day out, but they might want to try to take a chance at them. We'll see if those gains can hold. All right. And then we look at our diamonds. A little better here now, back up to 526. Yesterday's highs were 527. All right, so we're still inside day right now on diamonds, so a little bit better here, and we'll see what comes of it. All right, Qs are starting to kind of push here a little bit more now. All right, so PPI numbers out. Couple of names we can look at here. Things that are moving around this morning. I got PayPal on the move here. PPYPL. All right, PayPal. 57.74 now, up almost $10 and change. So you're going to get a move to the upside here now on your daily, and we'll pull that one up. All right. So 48.47. Goodbye, baby. We're going to $56 and change to the upside on PayPal. All right. So you're going to have a gapper up to the upside here. We'll see what happens with that. All right. We're coming back to some of this area right in here. All right. So 56. Where are we at right now? We're at 56.70. All right, so we're going back into this area back here, and this is dating back to January, guys, with the gapper down. So today, kind of already filled the gap anyway. But here's the move this morning. Now 56 and change. You're going to have a gapper up on PayPal. All right, in the financials. You know that's the one. BlackRock's a little bit better here this morning too. Closed at 1025, trading at 1075 right now. All right, so taking out all of this here on your daily, and right now we're at 1075. So we're going to be fighting with this move up in here now with BlackRock. We don't trade that one that much in here. but we do watch. All right, we do that. All right. What else we got here that's this morning here? UMAC here, little gapper upper here, unusual machines and equities. Had finishes the day with the 2-1 inside. Let's go down and look at the bigger picture. All right. So this guy here, this is a 2-1-2 up, trading up to 1951. You're not getting out of that 3-day for sure, but you're going to get a little move to the upside here on this guy on UMAC the knife. UMAC the knife. All right, UMAC. Chiners. Bye bye. All right, Bob is giving me a little relief today. Gets up to 117.28. I still think these Chinas are good, guys. There's time for room in this thing. All right, got up to 119.13 now, and then she has pulled back a little bit. All right, Baba looking good to me. You're inside on the month here. All right, and believe it or not, we're getting to that halfway point already. All right, so 2-1 inside on the weekly. This is going to move up this morning, so the week is going to expand, and we're going to be 117. All right, so the last week's highs were 115.58. All right, and we're going to take that up, and we're going to be in this 117 area. Our next move there would be 122.72 on your magnitude. Get. All right, let's see if we can keep it going. And Billy, I'm in both. All right, Billy. Downer day yesterday, and again, Billy couldn't get it going here. It's been chopping up. So already dipping back down to 1780. But this is going to be a nice move to the upside here, slightly. All right, 1781. We're a little bit higher on Billy. Baba seems to be a lot better there this morning. We'll take a quick look at JD as well. JD's getting that gapper up as well here. 29.24, closed at 28.84. All right, 28.84 is where she closed, but her high was 29.21. We're trading about 25 cents higher here on Billy. I'm sorry, on JD. That is going to turn that weekly to green. All right, you're still going to be close. You're going to be close to expanding on this one now. JD get. I think there's room, guys, for these Chiners. I do. RDW. This is a industrial. Back up here now, coming off of this daily pattern down here. We got a 2-2, wasn't showing us anything down here, but sitting on the lows of the daily broadening formation to the downside. All right, so RDW gets up to 1036, and then she backs back to 1014. RDW a little bit better this morning. I don't want to give you too much, but just look at the movers on my ASML. Gets yesterday got all the way up to 1941. All right, and then they surrendered a lot coming back in, and it's just a sick move now. 1839. All right, so where are we at here? Let me blow this thing up at 1839. Actually, we're 1839. We're actually going to be a little bit. Oh, sorry, I knew there was something going on here. All right, so 1839 brings us right up into this area here, and that would be our next magnitude to the upside to 1858. All right, ASML this morning, a little better there. And then you got, I'm looking at them here. I got Tesla on the move. I tell you, it's the Mag 7, guys. I think Amazon's getting ready to move. It's probably going to try them out again. But Tesla move nice up move here this morning now. That's a 2-1-2, not quite taking the 2 out. All right, but still not even taking day at the insider. So Tesla looks to stay inside here. Microsoft was kind of moving here a little bit. Microsoft, had that, and they did a nice move and then stalled out. And here we are at 388, about $4 higher. and you are just barely trying to take the day up. All right, so Microsoft, we'll see about that one. And again, Amazon, the problem with Amazon is, inside. That's the problem. Actionable signals. We're going to, we talked about some full-time frame continuity. We want to talk about that more. Everybody wants to talk about Strat, and we're going to talk more about Strat. All right, we'll talk about actionable signals. An actionable signal is an inside bar, and it is a shooter or a hammer. Okay, those are the three things that we use for actionable signals. Okay, ones, you know what ones do, right? They go inside the previous bar. All right, it's not making anything move. All right, it's the twos what matters, as Rob we always say. Where's the next two? All right, so Amazon, I just think that I don't think it's going to really start to make the move until the new month comes into play. And who knows what that's going to bring right now, especially with disturbances, wars, and all this other business. Amazon's just not, it's just is not, it's been underperforming. All right. So, here we are on the daily right now. It's just been chopping up. All right. So 249, a little bit better, higher this morning here. Um, I just, I think the bigger move is down the road yet. But we'll keep an eye on Amazon. I do like Amazon. I'm not in it. Goog was moving up nice yesterday. If you look at yesterday, um, right here, it had a pretty decent day on the 2 hour. All right, it was a 322 up, and it did start to surrender on the overnight. So now a little bit lower here at 356, and she's not really trading anywhere else. She's right there at that 355. All right, so and Apple, too much, too fast, and you'll puke. And I think that's what happened. 311 all day, guys. 311. It's a little better now this morning here. 316, 317. A lot of guys calling for $400 on Apple, so it'll come in. It'll come in. And right now, my levels are at 311. All right, and when I say 311, I mean that whole dollar. All right, maybe a dollar and a half. Okay, it's going to move around. All right, so that's going on with the Mag 7 here this morning. Intel started to move yesterday. I've been watching it. It's hard to, really kind of gauge with things with this stupid war that's going on. So you still got, the quarter. I know you can't see that. Maybe I can really peek it in there. There you can see the big red bar now. All right, but that's the inside bar. We are inside on the month here. All right, and we got a nice hammer that's starting to form. That maybe that can go into force. We're a little bit better here right now this morning. Got up to 110.48. All right, so we're moving slowly here, and to get out right now, we're still inside that 3-day pattern. So sit tight, sit tight. All right, and then I try to shrink my tech world down. Crew V, still just not doing the job, but it's down with the rest of those Cloudflare stocks that have kind of stalled out or falled out or whatever the hell they did. But you take a look at a couple of those. There's your Salesforce had a decent day yesterday. It was only a 2 because it made a lower low, but there was buyers in there today, and there's some spattering of buyers in here on the monthly with the inside again. With the month inside and how many days we got left here. We got 5, 10, 11. All right, 11 days. See if anything can change some of that. Oracle. I'm not going to go through all of them. Oracle, you see Oracle. You look at the dailies. All right, they've been coming down. They've been coming down a lot here. Oracle should get out of jail soon at some point. 2-2 down, 3-2 down on the month, guys. 3-2 down on the month. So no hurry for Oracle. That's for damn sure. And then IBM. IBM has been better, but not. 2-2 down on the month, sitting heavy now. 2-2 down on the week. Just kind of a murdering here. You got a mother bar here now. This is another thing that we talk about is mother bars, and we're going to be going inside one right now. So you're in jail. Okay, you're going to be in jail on IBM for sure. All right, so IBM, that's so good. All right, so that whole group, the Cloudflare, it's just not really getting it done, and Crew V is involved with that group. Okay. We got some industrials. Maybe the industrials can give us a good day today. With this with the PPI numbers that just came out, and they're already cooling off here. They all spiked up pretty good on the futures, and now they're coming back to the real world here already. All right, but 182.58 yesterday's to get out. We're stuck inside here this day again on the XLIs. I don't know a couple that maybe the airlines can start to eke something up. I see a little bit of splattering of buyers, but I don't think there's an army of them, and that's what you're going to need is an army of them. All right, so United Airlines, there you go. A little higher there this morning. Not too many of those either there. Delta Airlines, not doing anything there. Looking across the board here. Planet, this is another one that fell apart. Continuation to the downside, as you see, heavy on your monthly and your weekly. All right, so we're looking for things to turn around, but right now the industrials are not getting the job done. It looks like Boeing made a little bit of a move here, trying to get up there. Boeing, let's go. This thing has been such a hog. All right, so I'm looking at here across the board. Boston Scientific, here's another one that's just been punished brutally, as you see it. All right, keep an eye on it. And just don't do anything with it, but keep an eye on it. All right, let's look at some of the sectors here. XLP, are we a little better this morning? Yeah, we are by 5 cents. All right, we got 5 cents. All right, Coca-Cola. A little better here, 83.30, trying to come back up. It closes at 83.03. A little better there. Pepsi coming back up here too, off of the lows here. This one's been really beat. All right, Staples will get it right. They'll get it right. They've been coming down. All right. So what else here? Metals a little bit better here, and I mean a little. Freeport-McMoRan here on your copper. I like the month up. I like the week up. Had a decent day yesterday, 62.95, trading 61.78 right now, trying to get them back up there. All right, we got GDX. GDX is like the ETF of all the metals, so you can watch this one. You get the whole package. Coming back down here now on your monthlies, kind of hiding low here right now. Maybe a good setup on a 3-1-2 week, and something gets to start there. All right. Full time frame continent. No, we do not have that. Okay. We have more red than we have anything. All right. So, and then we'll look at gold. Gold moving to the upside here, now a little bit there. All right, that looks like to take the day up today here, 376. No, you're still stuck inside day. Crude is doing nothing, guys. Up 40 cents, and it's 0.5% this morning. So real quiet here on the Eastern Front, at least for now. But I'm sure there'll be more fireworks and whatnot and whatever there else might be. All right. So, yeah, looking at healthcare, again, mixed bag, trying to get something moving here. Utilities had a decent day yesterday on the XLUs, and they did surrender a lot at the end of the day yesterday, coming back down. All right. But they're fighting back, 45.76, trying to fight back in there. And then we talked about XLE in the big picture. We want XLE to get higher so we can get fat and we can buy some puts. All right. So I still think that even with all this war business, we'd like to see energy to move up higher, set up for something for them to bring them back down again. All right, that's my thoughts on that one. Couple other names here that's better this morning. Cava restaurants down there. This is a discretionary. Had a bad day yesterday. 73.14. 72. You're going to be inside day there, but higher here this morning. I see Merck is popping its head up here a little bit. It ain't going anywhere, but it's a little higher this morning here on that Merck. All right, 124.80 right now. Got up to 124.61. So we got a day upper here on Merck walking up here. And then you look at the runs with kind of Medtronics a little bit. 79.30. This one's not giving me as much spunk as Merck is. Merck looking really good, guys. Merck moving to the upside here, pretty good here this morning. I'm just going through my list here. We talked about ASML. Circle, this is a CRCL. This is a tech. I think this is another one, Cloudflare. Came right out at the same time as Crew V. Nice hammer on the day there, 63.77, trading 64.50. All right, that could go for the 2-day here. That one looks a little bit better this morning. We'll see if that one hold up. All right, Circle. That one doesn't look too bad. Still got all the garbage though that you're going to need the new month to change things around. But it looks like she's pumping up this morning. We'll see if you're going to go up into red. You know what's going to happen. All right. Let's see what we got on the downside here. If we got any good pukers. Let's see what else I got here. What do we got here? I don't want to pick any garbage here. Healthcare, ELV. Elvis is in the building. 2-2 up there on the Elvis has definitely been doing very well if he was off the barbiturates. But Elvis, what do we got for you today? Got yesterday. They were able to drive this thing up to 436.24, 394. Yikes! All right, we got a gapper coming down on Elvis. This is healthcare. All right, back down to the downside with Elvis. We got that one going on there. Ruby, Jack Ruby, right? You know what he did, right? Ruby, 428 last trading 362. Does this baby got options? Hold on one second. Trade. Where's me Ruby? I just want to see what this one does. Ruby Tuesday. All right, Rubico. Sub-Zero engages in the tanker operations and business in Greece. Okay. All right. So tanker. All right. She's tanking. That tanker's tanking. All right. Taking on water a little bit there too. All right. We'll see on that one. SanDisk is lower here down this morning, guys. All right. SanDisk. SNDK is a little Johnny John. It was this healthcare business. It's not ready for anything yet. Johnny John lower this morning here. Already been moving to the downside. Gave up the whole month here. Gave up the whole quarter. All right, so there you go. 2-2 down on the week. Continuation to the downside. Just stay away from healthcare. We'll see if they start to get better. Natty Gas a little bit lower here this morning. Not too much. Voyage is lower here. Voyage. This is a cruise liner, I believe. YG. All right. Voyage 29. Yesterday's lows were 29.45. We're breaking day down here, but you're going to have a 2-2 downer, and close to taking out the 2-day. Not much. I've been watching RCL. they popped them up way too fast. And this was the day when they I mean, where were they going? This was like the second day after they started the bombing, and then all of a sudden, boom! What were they thinking there, man? Anybody who got suckered into buying this move, man, that was horrific. All right, look for shooters to continue down now to show us lower. We have a shooter down on the week. That is supporting the fact that we are inside month and inside quarter. All right, and we've watched this weekly here. If you're into watching these. There might be an opportunity to buy them at some point, but Carnival Cruise Lines gave it up, and it gave up yesterday. All right, so they were trying to move, and that was that one was the writing was on the wall on that one. And I don't know where people were coming from buying that one. All right, coming back down on the daily, so NCLH. That's it, man. I don't want to take up too much time. Futures, we'll finish it here. SPY starting to drop back in again. Like I said, don't get a little crazy with yourself. But now you got a shooter coming back down on the 2 hour, and we're starting to drip back inside on the 30. So a little more real life here. Two down here now, dripping back in on the Qs as well. And then we look at the diamonds, and this is it. Diamonds, shooter back down to the downside. All right, Chiners, gapping up today. All right, keep an eye on the Chiners. I think they're better. They're going to triangle out too, but I still think they're better here. All right, everybody, be good, be good.